Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the High Ticket Coaching and Consultant Show. Now, if you're watching this interview anywhere else but within our private Facebook community called High Ticket Client Attraction Insider Circle, definitely come check us out. We'd definitely love to have you. That community was put together specifically for coaches, consultants, and service providers who are serious about getting up to that six, not seven-figure level. So if that's you, come check us out. Now, today I want to introduce you to one of the members of our community, Robeena. Welcome, Robeena.
Thank you. Thank you, Extus. Wonderful to be here.
Awesome, love it. So tell the community, what is it that you do?
Okay, I help women overcome depression without medication or years of therapy. So I'm a hypnotherapist and I'm a coach as well. My background is nursing and healthcare. I've been in nursing 32 years. I've trained in general health and mental health and then moved on into hypnotherapy. So it was like a progression from physical health to mental health to psychological health. And that's where I've kind of stuck into now. And mental health, specifically depression in women as well. No medication, no therapy, not years and years of therapy.
Yeah. So how do you help your clients get over depression without medication or having to go through years of therapy?
Specifically hypnotherapy, which is what the type of hypnotherapy I use is rapid transformational therapy. And for those of you who don't know what RTT is, it's a combination of psychotherapy, hypnotherapy, NLP and CBT principles all put together in one package used under hypnotherapy. So what that does, that kind of gets to the root cause of people's psychological subconscious problems. And oftentimes it can take one hypnotherapy session in certain instances to just release that person from the root cause of their problem. And then it will take some coaching and some aftercare just to bed that in and just to help support them through the process.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so how does hypnotherapy work?
Okay, well, it's hypnosis, isn't it? So obviously, if you're familiar with hypnosis, it's actually altering your brainwave patterns. That's the clinical definition of hypnosis. So you go into a trance state. So you will go from your conscious awakened mind to talking to your subconscious mind. And you need to be in alpha state to do that. So obviously there's a process that you would put your client into hypnosis for. And then you would take them, there's tools when they're under hypnotherapy. There are tools that you can actually use to regress them to the root cause of their issues, really. And, obviously the subconscious mind is 95% of the powerhouse of all of us as human beings. And it's where all the root cause of your problems lie. So with hypnotherapy and hypnosis, we can, if you look at the mind as the iceberg principle, you look at the iceberg, you've got the tip of the iceberg on top, you've got the water level and you've got the underneath. That's how the mind is. So the tip is the conscious mind. The water level is the gatekeeper. Bottom is the subconscious mind. So what we have to do, we have to bypass the conscious mind, the water level, which is the gatekeeper, get into the subconscious mind, directly speak to the subconscious mind when the client is in hypnosis, and the subconscious mind knows the answers to all of your problems. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And how long have you been doing this type of work?
Just over 2 years now. Yeah.
Okay.
Hypnotherapy specifically.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. So, thank you.
And you say the clients you work with, it's depression, anxiety type of issues they face? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what was the question?
The clients you help, they face typically depression.
Mental health, specifically depression. When I qualified, it was a trend. There seemed to be a trend. I followed the trends of the clients that I seem to be helping, and the trend over 2 years has been women predominantly with mental health issues. Obviously, it's not just depression on its own. When you come and speak with people, there are obviously underlying issues. There's anxiety. There's other stuff going on. So you're working with the surface issue, but obviously you're going for the other issues as well. But it's like, I don't know whether you've heard this in terms of psychology before, but people are like layers of onions. So once you start peeling off one layer, you can get to the other layers as well and start unraveling people's root problems that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you said you could help them with the process, hypnotherapy. And what other tools did you say you used?
I've got nursing background, so my mental health nursing skills. I've got mental health nursing assessment skills. I have information on medication, so I can give them medication advice as a psychiatric nurse. I can give them advice on how to take medication, but I don't advocate it, but people will come to me on medication. I've got counselling background, so I've got counselling tools that I can use and also life coaching tools. So it's a bit of a package. But it's a process as well to get people through what they need to do. So it's unraveling the problem of the past, unplugging that, dealing with the fallout, and then caring and nurturing the new life, shedding the old layers and putting tools in to give them the confidence for the new life to begin.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? Where does issues such as depression and anxiety come from? How do these things, I guess, what's the root cause of them typically?
Root cause. Yeah, well, it can be lots of things. I mean, mental health is highly understood, misunderstood, because it's not physical. You can't see it. It usually stress and life events, stress caused by life events that cause mental health issues. But it's also, for me, it's a lack of understanding because we are not taught as a society that maintaining and looking after your mental health is as important as brushing your teeth every day. You can't brush your teeth once and for all. You can't eat once and for all. You can't wash your body once and for all. It's a daily process. You have to do that to maintain your physical health. We aren't taught as a society that if you don't keep on top of your mental health, it's like a grand piano. It will go out of tune. And then when your mind goes out of tune, the slightest little thing that stresses you out, you can misunderstand or misinterpret, and you can just go into this horrible, horrible spiral. So, like I say, it's never just one issue. It's usually a clump of issues. If you can imagine a ball put together by elastic bands, yeah, a ball of elastic bands tightly together, that's what it kind of looks like. So you're taking off these elastic bands one by one by one, and obviously people are in pain. They don't want to be in therapy for years and years. If you had a toothache, you wouldn't want the dentist to say, oh, I can fix you, but it's going to take 7 weeks. You're like, I'm in pain, fix me now, or fix me in the next 2 weeks. This is why, the hypnotherapy is so fast, the rapid transformation, it can pull the problem out at the root. This is why, I feel that this style of therapy is really, can get people to places where they want to go.
Mm-hmm.
But the people that I work with Extus are usually 11 out of 10 ready for change. I have to point that out. It's not for everybody. These are the people that I work with who are desperate. They've tried everything. They've been in therapy for years. They've been on medication for years. They're at the end of their tether. They will do whatever it takes to get out of this pain because they've tried
Mm-hmm.
everything else. And I'm quite happy to just get them out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, and you work with your clients, is your packages based on sessions? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it's a bespoke package. So for hypnotherapy, you could have a package for 30 days for somebody, say, who had a fear of flying, a phobia, or insomnia. Something like that can be treated in one hypnotherapy package in a 30-day package. Something longer like depression, I would recommend a minimum of 3 months, 90 days. And then you have the option of 1, 2, or 3 hypnotherapy sessions, but you would always have the aftercare, the work, the coaching, and the counseling tools incorporated into that. I mean, the other thing that we do with hypnotherapy, which I haven't mentioned, is we make a bespoke audio recording after the hypnotherapy session. So the hypnotherapy session makes up about 60% of the work that you do, but the further 40% is embedded in the personal audio recording, and that can be reviewed. The minimum they have to listen to the audio recording is for 21 days. So you're planting a seed, basically, and you're nurturing that planted seed. Once you've rooted out your garden.
Yeah. And how long do the sessions typically last? Is it like an hour long, 2 hours?
It depends. You're never going to know what's going to come up in this session. So I actually say to people, minimum 60 to 90, but allow yourself 2 hours. Give yourself a 2 hour time block where you're not going to do anything. You're not going to go anywhere. But what I also say to people as well, afterwards, you are going to sit and want to process what's gone on in your session. So don't run off. Don't make an appointment after, because you want to sit and think about what's happened, and you need to process what you've just jumbled in your mind, you see. So yeah, minimum 2 hours. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when someone goes through this type of process, because it's almost like you said, it's like an unconscious type of change, right?
Sure.
So are they like, how is it something, I guess after you get done doing the work, how does that, is it something they have to think about? Do they just feel different? How do they know that the problem or the issue is figured out?
Okay, well, some people can have what you call light bulb moments. Well, literally, they'll put 2 and 2 together and think, oh, that's what happened. That's the root cause of my problems. But some people will come to a slower conclusion, and some people will have an even long-term effect. And that is something that you're not able to predict with people, really. But what I've noticed doing the therapy for 2 years is that everybody will have some form of long-term change. Whether they don't have an immediate change, people will. So, and there are tools when you're under hypnosis under RTT tools that you use to take people to certain memories, to certain places, and there are tools that you use to disconnect those people from it's not the incident that's happened to the person, it's the meaning that a person attaches to an incident that becomes the problem. So you have to take the person to a significant event, the root cause of the problem, and look at the meaning that they attach to that event. And if they can understand the meaning that their mind attached to that event, then it's like you've got the light bulb and everything just falls apart and everything is just, oh, but everybody's different, you know. So
yeah. What about issues around, let's say, money, right? Because I know a lot of the audience, they're coaches or consultants, and a big part about what most individuals in the audience do is they have to ask for money, and they have a vision of maybe how much money they want to make. Have you helped individuals who struggle with money issues?
Definitely. The majority of my clients will suffer with money issues because money and mental health, self-esteem, self-love are tied intricately together, and you cannot untie the two unless you deal with both of them. So, and as a therapist, we are actually taught that when a client comes to you with the surface problem is never the problem. And when even they don't know what it is because it's subconscious, but you have to treat the client with the surface problem that they come to. And then when you go into hypnosis and hypnotherapy, you will find that oftentimes it's not a money issue. It's a lack of, lack of self-worth, lack of self-esteem, feelings of guilt and shame attached to money. People have had, incidences where one client, for example, his father, he couldn't do a sum in a shop, and his father asked another child, the child did it. Just click like that, this old man that came to me. And he held on to that money issue till he was in his 40s. And it was what he had when we went into therapy was he had feelings of guilt and shame attached to that incident where he was under pressure, this man, and he couldn't work out this sum. And literally that was the root cause of all his money issues. So you can see, like I say, it's not necessarily the incident, it's the mind and the emotions and the beliefs. It's the belief systems as well, isn't it, Extus? It's the belief systems that you attach. I'm not good enough. I'm ashamed. I'm guilty. I should have known it. All that blah, blah, blah. You take a big stick and you start beating yourself up with it. So, yeah, this is across the board. It's a very common issue. But yes, it can be resolved once you find out it's the meaning and the understanding of it, the bottom, underneath the root cause of it. Every issue can be resolved as far as I'm concerned. You've got to put the work and the tools to do it.
Awesome. So, and how do you work with your clients in a virtual setting as well? Right? Is that how it works?
Yeah. We can do Zoom, we can do Skype. And, a lot of people don't realize this, but hypnosis can work just as well online. And with the world the way it is, it's a good job. It can, isn't it? Yeah, it's just as effective. As long as you can hear and see your client, just as effective online, Zoom or Skype. Yeah.
And what about, do you find individuals, right? Do you find, what is your suggestion? Is this type of work, let's say work with someone with your skill set, is that like a long-term type process, or is it more, do you just more say, hey, just come from a place of get a couple of sessions, figure out your problem and move on? How do you perceive that?
Do you mean when I'm working with clients? I would always suggest long-term, unless they've got one issue like fear of flying or insomnia, because I know that can be solved in one problem. Yeah. It's like you've got a headache, you take 2 paracetamol and it's gone. But if you've got something, complex, weight loss is a complex one. Weight loss will take, months. Because if you think about it, you did not wake up one day and end up 20, 30 pounds overweight. It was a process to become overweight. So the process, it's a process to reverse that as well. Yeah. So I suppose it's bespoke and individual, really. You've got to look at, what the needs are holistically.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you had to say, let's say, out of all the skills you've learned over the years, which would you say you love the most, that you value the most?
Nothing on paper, Extus, I'll be honest. Intuition, your gut, instinct. That really is because if you can connect to people on an emotional level and understand where they're emotionally coming from, that's what will win you clients every single time. Not your certifications, it's not your piece of paper, it's how you can feel that client. If you can feel another person's pain, you will have that person eating out of the palm of your hand. Yeah.
Awesome.
And that's what my experience has taught me, and my nursing background has taught me this as well. Definitely. Yeah.
Now, if you had to sum up your whole life in one sentence, what's that one sentence? My
life?
Yes.
Wow. A series of successes and failures, put it that way. Definitely.
Yeah.
Learning curve. It's a massive learning curve, isn't it, this journey that we call life?
Yeah. it's one of those fascinating things where there's like no like real manual, right? It's just a
What I say, Extus, I say it to my children, there's no textbook. Life does not come with a textbook. I love you speak my language. Yes, yeah, that's what I say. Yeah. It's,
Awesome.
it's confusing, isn't it, sometimes?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So next question now becomes, if someone wanted to reach out to learn more about your service and reach out and connect, what's the best way for them to do so?
Okay, you can find me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube as well. Yeah, I'm just starting to do some YouTube videos. I'm doing some like little snippet videos, like training videos for mental health and stuff. So if you Google my name, you'll find it everything. You should be able to find the link to my socials. Thank you.
Okay, good. Is your YouTube channel the same as your name as well too?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome, Robeena. And guys, if you're watching this video on the live or the replay, the links Robeena just shared to get connected with her, whether it's through a website, on Facebook, LinkedIn, or even YouTube, they will be right above or below this video. So you can click and just get connected right to her. Well, Robeena, hey, thank you so much for making the time to be here today. Yeah, I really appreciate it. Do you have any final thoughts before we end?
Just, it's been a difficult time all around, you know what I mean? With the lockdown, coronavirus, there's a lack of disconnection. People are feeling disconnected, but I'm hoping that, the world is going to come back to some semblance of normality. And I've seen some beautiful acts of human kindness over the last 3 months. And, if we remember who we are, and if we can help out our fellow human being on our life journey, then really that's made your day or made my day. It's just, we're all human beings. We all make mistakes. If we could reach out and help another human being, then your life has meaning, they say. Yeah.
Awesome. Love it. Well, hey, again, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you. Bless you. Thank you so much.
We'll talk soon. Okay.
Thank you.